This feels wrong, but it works. In this video, I'm going to show you my portrait block-in process, the way that I like to start the drawing phase of a portrait in order to simplify it, capture the structure, and give myself something easy to work with during the painting layers. Here I've got my reference. Essentially, I want to break the face into some basic geometric shapes. That way it will be much easier to actually draw on the canvas without getting distracted by all these details. First, I'm going to envelope my subject, and all that really means is just looking for the broadest possible shape that's going to encompass the essential structure that we're looking for. With portraits, that's usually going to be something like this, which we could say resembles an egg shape. If you know me, I love to start with the egg shape. I think it's the absolute best for beginning a portrait. And we also want to get these other big shapes that are connected. So I'll go ahead and give myself an envelope for the neck, the shoulder over here. I'm actually not going to include the hand. I want to just focus on the head. This is a much bigger narrative painting that I'm going to be working on, but I just want to do a quick study of the head before I get into the entire painting. The other thing I could include here is maybe the clothes. So the next thing I want to look for is the eye line. And I could also maybe include the tilt of the head. That's something that could be very useful. So trying to look at, okay, where do I find the major angle or the major direction of the head? If we just picture kind of drawing a line straight through the face, and we want to try and avoid the nose. The nose is tricky because it stands out. So if we just draw it exactly like that, it doesn't really tell us about the angle. It can be confusing because it stands out. And then, oh, let's base the rest of the face off that. And you start to get a bit misaligned. So you kind of want to go through the bridge and straight down to the philtrum, the center of the nose on the bottom side. And that tells you where your actual center line is. And same thing with the lips here. You want to go right down the middle of the lips and try not to include, if the lips are standing out, that extra space. So I'll just erase those lines to make it simpler for myself. But I want to keep in mind, when this is all said and done, what does this angle look like right here? If we just draw a line straight through there, what does that look like? What tends to happen with portraits like this is that we want to straighten it out. So we want to turn it this way and make it look like the face is standing straight up, just like this. So we really have to battle in a way and set ourselves up by focusing on these angles from the very beginning. So what I want to note right now is, where is the eye line? So if I just draw a line through the eyes, what does that angle look like? In a similar way, I'd like to know, what does the eyebrow line look like? We can also draw a line at the bottom of the nose, the mouth line right there. And I'd like to include the hairline or the very top of the forehead right there. The reason that I'm doing this is to understand the spacing here. How much space do we need to fill in all these features? The next thing I'll do is to block in some of these features. So I'll just try to find the most basic geometric shape I can that's going to encompass each feature. For the nose, I really like this trapezoid shape. So trying to keep it essentially four-sided. I can make it taper out just a little bit for the bulb there, and now we intersect right here with this baseline that we already drew earlier. I'd also like to draw the eye socket. This is a very important one. So trying to follow kind of the bag of the eye, the little highlight that I find right here on this inner part, and then the eyebrow on the top. Now I'll do the same thing for the other eye, and consider, because of the angle, we're going to get a very sharp turn right here. So because we're in this kind of 3/4 perspective, we really got to pay attention to this angle. So I'll just draw it in right here. Then we'll get the eyebrow and this little part where it connects to the nose. This is important. It helps to shape the nose. So if you notice on the other side, I did the same thing. And that's because the eye socket and the nose actually intersect. They cross over and help to create the shape of each other in that little inner part right there. Next is the mouth section. This is what I like to call the dental mound. And so what I'm trying to look for, first of all, where's the smile line? That's a very important indicator. That shows us exactly where the face is kind of standing out and we get the mouth protruding, while these muscles in the cheek, in the face, they're going to go a different direction. And same with the jaw. The jaw is also going to go back in space, while this area right here is going to come forward. So that's why I'm trying to pay attention to this right now. And the other thing I'm going to look for is, where do I find a little turn in the mouth? So the way to usually spot this, if we're working with a Rembrandt lighting, a lot of times we're going to find a little light right here. If it's on the shadow side, or since this is on the light side, what's going to happen is we're going to find a little change in the value. So right here, usually we're going to get just a little bit darker. And there might be something you notice with the chin as well. The chin starts to kind of go up into that section, and then it should connect to the smile line. And I know it's very, very subtle, but we can also tell because usually there's a little change in the value here. So if you notice, this is more of the cheek structure, and we see the cheekbone right in here is helping to create this little change in value in this area. And then we can tell, okay, this is not a part of that. With men, you'll tend to find the facial hair also follows that structure. So that's another little detail to look out for. I'll just start with the smile line, and then we'll draw down here into the facial hair. And I want to keep this part a little bit broken off. If you notice, it's slightly darker down here. This is all in the shadows. So I'll just keep that kind of separated. I totally rotated the image now just to show you this. But again, if you notice over here, how this part is standing out, and it comes all the way to here. And then this area where we find the cheek and we find maybe the edge of the jaw just kind of over here, it's settled back. So it's quite a bit back in space. So I'll actually just go ahead and include all of this, even though I know part of this is the jaw. We'll create the chin shape here. Next, I want to show the zygomatic bone and the turn of the cheek. The zygomatic bone is just this little bone right here that goes back. And it's an important one that you'll hear referenced a lot in the portrait world because it's very important for creating the structure here in the face. So I like to just draw a little diagonal there. The other option is to maybe draw a diagonal that goes from the edge of the lips all the way up to the edge of the eye. And that's a cool one because it also shows you this little turn right here. So where we go from this muscle that kind of goes up and connects to the nose, and then we start to get into some more of the cheek and the cheek muscles. So this is a useful one as well. And it also helps to get some of the spacing up here and figure out, okay, how wide should the cheekbone be? How wide should the space all the way around end up? And now I can just kind of block in the edge. So I'll go for the jaw structure here. We're just going to focus on the facial hair, essentially. I don't want to go into more detail than that. Usually I would break this up maybe into two parts. So we'd have like one right here and one a little bit closer in, but we've effectively already done that. And the facial hair is a very useful indicator, and it's going to help us a lot with the likeness. I could look for the same thing on the other side, but there's really not a lot of room for it. So what I'll do here is I'll actually just switch to my eraser, and we'll just erase a couple of lines here so we can simplify, get a little bit more clear about where the edge is. And I'll just draw in right here the edge that we can follow more closely. We'll do a little fine tuning on the chin as well. Now we're ready to move to the forehead. So for the forehead, I want to look at where do we find a change in value? Where is it very clear? Well, right here, there's a big change. We go from this kind of mid-tone, and then we get into a bright highlight. In a similar way, on this side, we go from our kind of lighter area into a shadow. So let's clean that up as well. I'll just erase some of this. Okay, I'll also add some of the hairline. It's very faint here, but it will help with the likeness. And the ear we can block in. So I'll just do the same thing. I want to encompass the outer part of the ear. A couple of little details here just to show the light and shadow. I'll leave it at that. Then the next thing I want to look for is where do we find some important highlights. So right here, this is a very important one. On the nose, that's going to be a very important highlight. We can clean up the nose just a little bit here. Clean up the mouth. And I'll include this little highlight here on the mouth. And then we can look for some important shadows. So I want to show this big shadow here that's kind of sweeping across this mouth area. I can go ahead and separate some of the chin from the beard. We can add the little cast shadow here. And I'll include some of the shadow that's on the shirt. Maybe behind the ear here. I'll also outline the broom. We're going to change the angle just a little bit. We're going to pretend that it's a stick. And with that, I'm ready to put this onto the canvas. If you struggle with blocking in a portrait and capturing likeness, I've put together a complete step-by-step portrait blocking guide showing you the exact method that I use to block in portraits. Visit the link in the description to download the complete guide, and you'll also get some free demos. Thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.